sports fans, and welcome to a lovely evening here in Denver, Colorado. We're on the middle of a road trip, and we're going to check in here as Dan Gomez, along with my good friend David Thompson. David, we're towards the beginning of a road trip. We've had some good times, and then we had the opportunity to come in here and do a full inning of a baseball game. Doesn't get much better than this.
Well, I'll tell you, Dan, it is a thrill. We came in here. Next thing the terrible case of explosive diarrhea. The main announcers had to go. They had to go right away. We stepped in. We said, hey, we called some Bremerton High School games, so we're ready to go.
It's all about being in the right place at the right time, is what they always say, is how you get somewhere. So what we have right now, for those of you who want to pay attention to what is happening on the field, we have a tie game, 1-1 going into the top of the sixth between the Dodgers and the hometown Colorado Rockies. So far in our brief hour and a half, 2 hours here in Denver, we've been treated very well by the locals.
We have been treated very well. You always hear about that Colorado hospitality. And,
I believe John Denver sang about that.
I think that was his big hit.
Yes.
Rocky Mountain hospitality,
Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah. I believe that's what it was.
I could never figure out where he got those lyrics from, but now I understand.
Now that we're here, we understand. So,
tell you what, the bathroom attendant, especially, I have to say,
in particular,
he had gave me a little on the
spritz on the neck.
Yeah, it was great.
Spruce it up a little bit. It's very nice.
It's been amazing.
He knows you're going to be in public, so he's trying to keep you looking clean.
And I got to say, coming in here, I thought, well, why the hell is there a city in the middle of nowhere? But nights like this, at the Diamond here, you can kind of see what it's all about.
Beautiful night here at the ballpark. So here we go to the top of the sixth. We're going to take a look at some of the Dodgers being up to bat right now. We're going to start off with the catcher, Rod Barajas, up to bat, and he'll take a little low for ball one. There's Jason Hamill on the mound now for the Rockies, a right-handed pitcher that we have never heard of.
He's a right-hand.
Let's get a video feed on the screen so you can see.
What we got here. Okay. Oh wow! Look at that.
How about this professional quality? When Dan and Dave go on the road,
we bring these guys all this stuff.
This isn't just a haphazard operation we are running right here.
Yeah, and that Toyota thing, that was our idea.
That's a big sponsor of our entire road trip, not just the Denver portion.
Yeah.
Even though we are in a Chevy Cavalier.
Yes, but we're friends. They're Toyota people. We were the first ones that said, hey, don't worry about the recall.
And you're going to be fine.
And so it's been a great relationship.
3-0 now to Barajas, and he misses low and away, and that's a leadoff walk to the light-hitting catcher, Barajas, only hitting .217. That is not what you want to do in this situation.
You don't want to walk a guy who's hitting .217. Barajas is in there. He's a manager. He manages the pitching staff. He also manages an Olive Garden in his spare time.
I believe so. In fact, I believe when we got to the ballpark, we actually got one of those 20% off coupons for that restaurant, did we not?
We did. And so breadsticks could be a factor later.
All right, Aaron Miles at the plate now for the Dodgers, and he takes ball one a little high.
Aaron Miles, they found him on the streets of Long Beach about a month ago. Notice he was playing a little stickball out there. And they signed him right up.
Hey, ever since then, hitting .297, so hard to argue with that scouting by the crack Dodgers scouting department.
Yeah, you can see why he was passed up. Doesn't look like an athlete at all.
1-0 pitch misses high, and there Jason Hamill has missed with 6 straight pitches, and the catcher is going to go out and talk with him. Chris Iannetta is not happy with the production so far out of Jason Hamill.
This is what a good catcher does. He goes out and he calms down his pitcher. He says, try to think of something that makes you happy. Maybe think of the smooth, sultry sounds of Marvin Gaye.
That usually does it for most people.
So now he looks like, let's see how that meeting played out here. See if
David, could there also be a little intimidation with the beard, the impressive beard of Aaron Miles? Just at the beginning stages, but you can see it could be thick and luscious eventually as Hamill misses low 3-0.
Hamill, it's pretty clear that Hamill doesn't want anything to do with that beard. He was only able to achieve a small goatee himself, so that could be playing a role here. as Miles just an impressive amount of facial hair.
And that one misses high and inside, and that is 8 straight balls to start the top of the 6th, and the Colorado fans are not happy with Jason Hamill.
I haven't seen that many balls in a row since the day that I got a little bit too drunk at Fire Island.
Hey-yo. We got a little bit of activity in the Rockies bullpen. That is Reynolds, number 51. That is going to be Matt Reynolds, the lefty, warming up. Being Seattle fans, we are not particularly familiar with the Rockies and the Dodgers lineups. And
tell you what, Matt Reynolds warming up out there. Looks like he just woke up.
He may have with this Colorado air. It's a little thinner up here, a mile high.
He might have got a little bit of a nap going there in the bullpen.
Jason Hamill's also beyond beyond that little goatee. He's also got that necklace there. Could be weighing a little heavy on his neck.
I'll tell you what, that necklace is. You know, that's the kind of thing that's going to make the higher ups in the MLB think about maybe instituting a rule against necklaces.
And as you see here, a classy move by Hamill, having the trainer come out so he can pull the old "I'm hurt, I should be out of the game, and that's why I walked the last 2 batters" move. A classic veteran move right there by Jason Hamill.
That's a veteran. And Matt Reynolds, who woke up sometime in the last 2 minutes, is now going to take the mound for the Rocks.
Another in a long line of impressive number 51s that we are familiar with. As we all know, Randy Johnson, the big unit, big lefty for the Mariners for a long time, wore number 51. And, of course, for the past 10 years, as we get a little weather update here from Kathy Sabine.
Tell you what, Kathy Sabine really putting together an impressive streak here. She's had about 2 or 3 days in a row where she's been within a degree predicting the temperature.
That's the kind of production you want out of your starting weekend meteorologist.
Look at that. What's that? Is that lightning?
I believe that was some bold lightning. And speaking of which, David, let's talk a little bit about our trip through Idaho. We had some drama getting towards the southern border.
There was a little drama. The southern border of Idaho with the hello. There's those 2 gals there.
Obviously enjoying the Rockies game.
She looks less enthused. Well, she's coming around. What's the dynamic there? Mom and Dad? We got the sounds of Guns N' Roses coming at us here.
Guns N' Roses, always good. We've got a couple of topics to cover here. Thankfully, we have not only this pitching change, but
I got a little sidetracked there.
Between innings as well. So, David, let's talk a little bit about this road trip so far. We started off in Seattle on a Thursday afternoon. As soon as I got off work, we got in the car about 3 o'clock. Started our way. Our goal was Pullman, Washington, home of the Washington State Cougars. Indeed. And we made it there in pretty decent time.
I feel like that was the first day was pretty textbook, but it went without a hitch.
Yeah, no
it
problems.
Really did. There was a couple moments where I thought I lost something in between the seat and the door. Or I thought I lost something. It turned out it was in between the seat and the door.
I believe Ritzville kind of threw us a curveball as well.
Ritzville in general was a debacle.
We took the exit. They said food, this exit. We take the exit and there's nothing there. We're just all of a sudden we're in a residential neighborhood in a town of less than 2,000.
I'll be really honest. Unless they convince Charlie Daniels and his band to come through town and play a concert, probably not going to go to Ritzville anytime soon.
We will not be seeing them again. In fact, I do believe, if I can quote exactly, on our way out of town, I said, well, I'll never be in Ritzville ever again.
Yeah, Ritzville's off the list.
Forever banned. So eventually we got back on the road. We got it going. We made it to Wazoo. I had my first taste here of seeing what the Wazoo campus was like. Had a giant golden cougar there. We got to see the field.
Yeah, he's talking about a statue, not an older woman who's sexually active.
Good clarification. We always want to make sure those of you out there listening to us right now understand exactly where we're going. We're talking about an actual large cat, as opposed to the exact opposite of what you see on your screen right now.
Those are some smaller cats, younger cats.
So
this guy with the glasses. Who wears that thing with the bar?
So anyway, we make it to Pullman that evening. We go check out the Coug, nice little local bar.
Little hole
Got
in the
to
wall.
watch the end of NBA Finals Game 5. Then we went to Valhalla, which was a kind of a trendy bar, and they had apparently remodeled since the last time you've been there, David.
Very exciting. Pullman, Washington, very exciting. Things are on the move. I'll tell you what, though, we'll recap that later. We got back to the baseball where Tony Gwynn is up to bat. No, not that Tony Gwynn.
We had a little confusion up in the center field bleachers where we were in the third inning. We thought it was Tony Gwynn Jr. that somehow he had made it over from San Diego, but apparently no, this is some other Tony Gwynn. And he's in here looking for the first strike in 9 pitches from Rockies pitchers, and that is not even close. And Mark Reynolds, I'm not even going to call you by your real name, Matt Reynolds, because you are an embarrassment to the number 51 right now.
Somebody give that guy a Red Bull.
And we already have another pitcher warming up in the bullpen. That is going to be Matt Belizel.
Talk about groggy, this Reynolds.
Apparently this is Tony Gwynn Jr. So our whole theory has been blown to bits. As Tony Gwynn Jr. lays down the bunt, he'll get the runner over to second. We got a little drama, and he's going to be safe at first, and the Dodgers are just piling on right now. No outs and the bases loaded.
Yeah, this is Dodgers baseball. This is what manager Don Mattingly has talked about, trying to get going, trying to manufacture runs, trying to get the runners over and just let the speed take over. There you see Tony Gwynn's got some wheels getting down the line there.
And just as expected, Ted Lilly, the starting pitcher, the left-hander, was going to bat, but with his .042 batting average, even though he did have a base hit.
Yeah, he had
in the third inning.
A first pitch ripped right down the left field line, just over the third baseman's head. And then he stole a base, Ted Lilly, the pitcher.
But struggling a little bit in the bottom of the fifth, he'll be pulled. And here's the bearded wonder, Casey Blake, coming in now. Infielder, he'll be pinch hitting for Ted Lilly, so we'll be seeing some bullpen activity here for the Dodgers. Casey Blake wearing number 23 in honor, obviously, of the Cleveland years of LeBron James. There's a drive down the left field line. That is going to score at least 2. We have a little bit of trouble coming off the wall. They're going to send the runner. Here he comes. A play to the plate and will not be in time. Blake rounding for third. He is going to get called out. He is the first out at third, but that's okay. The Dodgers score 3, and they take the lead 4-1 here in the top of the 6th, and the Rockies fans are not pleased.
Wow, Casey Blake blowing the game wide open with a rip down the line. Good call, pinch hit right there for the soft-hitting Ted Lilly.
And Casey Blake is quite happy that he is out of the game now because he looks gassed, and he will spend the rest of the night enjoying a ice-cold Coors beer, most likely, here in Coors Field.
I'll tell you what, Matt Reynolds still has yet to really come out of his post-nap haze.
Finally gets the strike across. That's a swing and a miss by the leadoff hitter, Dee Gordon, who we're going to live in infamy if this is incorrect, but we do believe that Dee Gordon is the son of former Major League pitcher Tom Flash Gordon.
Actually, I believe that's true. I actually just checked with some of my sources, and it is indeed Tom Flash Gordon's son. And he was named, he was born in 1993 and was named D in honor of D. Brown's championship in the Gatorade Slam Dunk competition.
There you go. Blindfolded, he could win the dunk contest, and apparently blindfolded, they could fill out a birth certificate.
Count it. D. Gordon stepping in. And, he's actually carved out a nice niche for himself as the leadoff hitter here for the Dodgers.
0-2 now on D. Gordon. Matt Reynolds at least getting the bases empty. So there's one in the positive column, and that's going to be a strike him out, throw him out. But only one out there as he steps on the bag. 2 outs now for the Dodgers here in the top of the 6th.
As Matt Reynolds deals with his first hitter that, was his first actual chance to not affect his own ERA. So a couple conspiracy theories here in play. One of which is that Reynolds and Hamill were competing for the same girl, and this was Reynolds' chance to get back at Hamill.
It's either that or it has to do with a game of cards. That is usually the two that has to do with. As time is called, we got a little bit of drama somewhere out in right field. The ump is, we have a loose ball somehow that got out. Nice work by the security guard there.
Yeah. The purple. Seems like a good chance to reintroduce ourselves to America. Hi there. Yeah.
Dan Gomez along with David Thompson here in beautiful Denver, Colorado. We are in the top of the 6th on June 11th, 2011. That's going to be 6-11-11 for those of you who like to have the shorthand for exactly how to write down your dates.
There it is. And as you can see, we are not professionally dressed, but we're going to make do. We're going to go back to the game now.
All right. Well, sometimes when you have to fill in, you have to make do with what you got, and that's what we do. 2-0 now on Jamie Carroll, second baseman for the Dodgers. You see Don Mattingly there, the skipper for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I know for a long time he was really hoping to take over the lead role there in New York, but had to follow Joe Torre out to the West Coast.
Yeah, he was not treated like a New York Yankee legend out there in New York. So now he's out in L.A. now. Kind of just a big F.U. to the brass there in Yankeeville.
Apparently not feeling it with Joe Girardi in charge and Brian Cashman. The new Steinbrenners, Hank and Hal.
Tell you what, who's
quite
your
the brother tandem.
Who's your favorite out of Hank and Hal?
Whoever the loudmouth is that Hank?
I believe that's Hank.
That's got to be Hank. There's no way Hank is a quiet one. Jamie Carroll sends a drive down into deep, and that's going to fall in. And then we got a little bit of running into each other with the outfielders. He's digging in for third. The throw will be late, and Jamie Carroll with a triple as the 6th inning, unbeknownst to us when we paid our $16 to be able to do this, is turning into quite the inning.
Well, I'll tell you what, we had no idea. But we had a feeling that there could be a chance for some dramatics here in the 6th inning as then your teams start to think about whether or not their starting pitchers are going to go all the way or maybe we're going to try to get a pinch runner. Sure enough, Casey Blake comes in, blows the game wide open, and the visiting Dodgers up 4-1 and a runner on third with 2 outs.
We have just been informed by Donna, the security guard here at the Fantasy broadcast booth, that we are now officially blacklisted at Coors Field.
Yep.
It's a good thing that this was not a final destination for us, a stop on the road.
It's a good thing this is what the plan all the way was a one-and-done performance. So we're not too shook up about Donna's little tirade that she just threw right now.
In the books, well, it's good to know that even though we are on our way, we are not invited back. 1-1 now here on the right fielder Andre Ethier, batting from the left side of the
this. Yeah, that's we had a feeling that this camera view would be needed. Okay.
Fouled off, and it'll be 1-2, or 1-1, excuse me. Yep.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm a little ahead. And look at that. Hey, we got
I tell you what,
young fan quite excited about that baseball. David, I still, to this day, have never come close to a foul ball.
Well, that's unfortunate. I've always noticed a little bit of a jealousy about the 2 I got. Oh, and what do we got? A strikeout.
We got a strikeout, and that will mercifully end the top of the 6th inning. Dodgers come away with 3 runs and a number of hits as Matt Reynolds cannot get the job done. As we'll go to a little bit of a in-between here. We got a little bit of time in between the top of the 6th and the bottom of the 6th, so let's pick up, for those of you scoring at home.
We were unable to come up with we were unable to secure advertising for this break here. We got the Toyota. We felt pretty good about that. We thought that's all we needed. We don't really know how it works. So.
But apparently they have no commercials in Denver. Apparently the hippies here up in the air's a little thinner. They get less oxygen to the brain, and they think that commercials are for communists. So we have to keep talking all the way through the break.
Well, and that's fine because that's what we do.
That's all right. So let's talk about the day 1. We ended up in Pullman. I believe we were there. We had a good time at the Coug and Valhalla, the renovated Valhalla. Met some interesting Cougar students.
I mean, we had a little pool game going. We kind of chatted it up a little bit with some of the locals, assuming they were students.
Yep. And
they seemed to be pretty thrilled about the renovation at Valhalla. And,
only 1 month. It only been around for 1 month, the renovation.
So, it looks pretty nice, but, we'll see what it looks like after it's been open for a few months.
That is going to be the key, is how they handle an entire 1 year.
Washington State students tend to rip through a new venue.
I would say, would you say rowdy is a good adjective?
I think rowdy is a very fair adjective to use.
All right, so we woke up fairly early Saturday morning, or Friday morning. Boy, the days are getting away from me already. Friday morning. We wake up fairly early in Pullman.
We were targeting Friday as sort of our get her done on the road day.
Big day.
Buzz through Idaho. We're going to go down to Utah.
I believe it's Orem, Utah, just south, kind of in between Salt Lake City and Provo.
Yeah. And MapQuest indicated it might take about 12 hours.
All right. So David, with a good friend from back in the day, living down there in Orem, is kind enough to allow us to stay at his place for the evening.
And what we failed to count though was that we were going to go into the Mountain Time Zone.
So we lost an hour that way. We ended up getting. What was amazing about the whole thing is that we ended up getting to our destination almost exactly where, in terms of time, where we had thought we would be there, minus the hour that we lost due to the time zone change.
Oh, it's because we were zipping. We were zipping down that road as the big bat for Colorado comes to the plate.
Shortstop Troy Tulowitzki coming up to bat right now. Tulowitzki, just one of the best players in the game, batting .266 with 12 home runs already in this young season. And let's take a look who we have now out on the mound right now. That's going to be number 36, Blake Hawksworth, the right-handed pitcher for the Dodgers now dealing, and he's going to have to deal with a league MVP caliber type player here in Troy Tulowitzki.
I was visiting with Troy recently at the Diamond Cabaret in downtown Denver, and I asked him, hey Troy, what's going on here? What's the game plan here? How does this help you prepare for the game? And he explained to me he was going to smack the booty of one of the dancers there later, and that was he was hoping that would help him make contact with the baseball later in the game tonight.
As we all know, baseball players are very superstitious. 1-1 pitch is just outside. We're going to go to 2-1. Big hitters count here right now for Troy Tulowitzki. So we ended up being able to make it down to Orem, Utah, just in time. We enjoyed a little Halo 3. Was that number 3?
Yeah, the 3. Nope, that was the 4th one.
Oh, number 4.
The Reach. Yeah, we reached for it.
And enjoyed a little online Xbox gaming as Tulowitzki pops one up in the right field. Shouldn't be too much problem for Andre Ethier as he puts it away. One out here for the Rockies.
I got a question for you, Dan. I got a question for you, Dan.
Yeah.
As we are here in agricultural areas, why do they call that an easy pop-up? They call it a can of corn.
Well, I would imagine, my guess being that as you are canning your corn, you have a big pile and you have to get it from the place where it's canned into the boxes that you're going to ship it out into.
Sure.
So you toss it before assembly lines, because I would imagine they were canning corn before, as you take a look at a beautiful sunset here in Denver, Colorado. And first pitch swinging here is Ty Wigington, and that's going to be an out. Back again, Andre Ethier just being the be-all everything for the Dodgers defensively in the bottom of the 6th.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Gwynn over there in left field has not got a lot of action. It's been all Ethier in right field.
It's been a slow day for him. So what my guess is that the corn was canned before the advent of the assembly line, or the mechanical assembly line, as it were. So the can was corned in one spot and boxed in another, and they probably had to toss the corn to the person boxing it. It was an easy toss, easy catch. Can of corn.
Boy, oh boy, you got a great imagination. I just never even would have assumed that. I'll go with that for now, but I'm still gonna maybe want to investigate that later.
Might have to be our next stop first thing in the morning as the count goes to 1-1.
We are not
on
going
Chris
through
Nelson,
Nebraska, which is known as the corn, the state most associated with corn.
Unfortunately, we will not be stopping in Nebraska on this road trip.
That was an option.
Tomorrow will be a long day. We are going to travel the entire width of Kansas.
The entire width. And it's not the biggest state in the world, but it's still a darn big state.
And let's be honest, not a lot out there in Kansas.
Nope. We're expecting to be getting the full embrace of the Great Plains tomorrow.
All right. So those of you who are probably watching this a little bit stoned right now are enjoying that Taco Bell advertisement.
Yep.
As there's Chris Nelson with a line out down to the second baseman. Jamie Carroll throws him out, and that will end the inning. So as the Dodgers take a 4-1 lead here into the 7th inning, we would just like to sign off here very quickly. We're going to take a look here just one more time so we can be able to say goodbye. David, any final thoughts here?
Well, I'll tell you what. This trip has been a success so far. Here we are on day 3. And all I can say is, thanks Colorado for the hospitality and the beautiful weather and that amazing sunset we just saw.
Hard to complain about the way we've been treated here in Denver. Thanks for watching. I'm Dan Gomez for my broadcast partner David Thompson. Tune in more later for more adventures of Dan and Dave on the road.